Sometimes I wake up and I feel already stressed. I don't know if you have that also, but I feel like I have so many things to do and I have to get done this and I really have to run fast to do all of that in this day. And I realized that this tension inside that comes with all the stress is very, very painful and somehow unhealthy and leads to a lot of health conditions later on. So I tried to find a way how I could step out of that stress, even if I'm not changing my tasks, because there are so many things in my daily life that have to be done and I cannot avoid them. Of course, it's always valuable to listen and check if everything that I'm doing is really that important. But of course, I cannot avoid all of that, so there will be always things to do, and somehow there will always be some kind of stress outside because it's normal in this world, and I think we cannot avoid that. So how to feel less stressed even if I have all that tasks to do. I want to share my experience on that with you in this video because maybe it's also interesting, inspiring or helpful for you. And if you have your own experiences with that, please share it in the comments. It would be super helpful and interesting for me and also for other people. For me, the most important thing is if I'm waking up and have that feeling of stress already inside of me, the most important step for me is to recognize that I'm in that kind of mode. So just to take one step back from myself and see, my mind is running in this kind of pattern. And that already helps a lot, because just by watching the mind and seeing this pattern, a lot is changing and I'm already feeling a bit more relaxed. How I come to this and how I can watch my mind and see that I'm running in this pattern, I learned in meditation. So regular meditation practice helped me to come into that space where I can watch myself from the outside. And this helps me a lot in my daily life with that. The second thing that I realized is that on that days where I feel that much stress, these are the most important days to practice some kind of meditation or to take some time for myself. So even if it's only half an hour, it's very important on that days to have that space and spend it with myself, because this can change everything. I come into another space and feel much more relaxed, and also I can realize what is really important to do and what might be not that important as I think. It's very important for me to realize that life will continue like this forever, so there will always be work and a lot of things to be done. So if I'm overpowering and running in this pace or running even faster to do everything, it will come back to me in a later time in the form of burnout or depression or tiredness, because in these moments where I feel stressed and I'm running even more fast, I'm overpowering, and this makes me very tired later on and it will come back to me. So the realization is to try to find a better balance in my daily life. So of course it's not always easy, but for me it's worth trying, because I will not gain anything out of that stress. In contrary, it will be very painful and unkind to me, and it will come back to me in a later time in form of diseases or depression, and it's not worth overpowering, because it might look like it helps in this moment, but actually it doesn't help in the long term. And it's absolutely necessary for me to at least try, because I know it's not always possible, but at least try my best to be kind to myself and to give myself that space, even if it's not a lot of time. But it's not always about the time frame and how long, how much time I have, because meditation and all this space for myself depends much more on intensity and really totality to come into that moment than on the actual time frame. So it's possible to also take short breaks, but if they are intense and if I'm really total in that present moment, they doesn't have to be that long in time. So for me it's worth trying it, because it's much more healthy and it's much more kind to myself. So if I feel stressed, I'm now trying to take a break. So it's just the opposite. It seems like the opposite, but for me it helps a lot. And I'm really excited to hear your experiences on that. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a beautiful day and hope to see you in the next video.